Welcome to our show today, and with me is the owner of Aquarex. What the hell is Aquarex, Johnny? Tell me what it is.
Susie, Aquarex is what we call a physical water conditioner. It's an alternative to water softener. It's what a lot of people call a no salt softener. And it does most of what a softener does, and it does a bit more as well. It deals with hard water. That's the thing.
Okay.
And you have lots of problems with hard
I know
water.
I do, but why does everybody need this?
Well, I tell you what, the problem with hard water is the
Yes.
scale. Scale sticks to pipes and surfaces. It has to. It can't do anything else. So then it hangs around on shower heads, on faucets, things like that. Also, it affects the way that soap works too. So it's bad for your hair. You don't get the lathering. It's bad for your laundry. All that sort of thing. It doesn't. Soap doesn't work so well in hard water. So what we do, there are various ways of dealing with it, and the way we deal with it is rather different to the way other people deal with it. What we do, we actually stop that scale sticking. That's the first thing we do. We make nucleation seeds. Do you mind me talking about nucleation seeds?
No, tell me about it.
Okay,
I'm sure our audience wants to hear this too.
All right. Well, what we do is we take the iron, the Fe molecules, the iron molecules that are already in the water, and we change their shape using radio waves. This is actually a radio transmitter. The radio waves travel in the water, and they make these iron molecules change their structure, so that now the scale sticks to the iron molecules instead of the surfaces where it normally goes. Okay? You got that so far?
So far, so good.
All right, so we don't get the scale sticking to anything. Now, the other thing it does, it makes it's such a scale-friendly environment. All these nucleation seeds everywhere. The scale wants to go somewhere, so it goes to those nucleation seeds. And then you get less dissolved calcium in the water. You've got the same amount of calcium, but you've got less dissolved calcium, you've got more particulate calcium. And the particulate calcium is like chalk dust, it's powder, it goes through the system, doesn't cause any problems, but the water that's left behind with less dissolved calcium is softer. So you get better lathering, it's better for your hair, your laundry, your skin and everything else, but you don't get that slippery, slimy feel you get from conventionally softened water.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Yes. So in other words, Johnny, you're an engineer, and you've developed this. So yeah.
Well, I would like to be considered an engineer, but that's
Okay.
a little bit flattering. I'm really a businessman, but I found this product, and it's a very interesting product.
Okay.
Nobody knew how it worked, and what we've done is over the last 20 years figured out actually how it works.
Okay.
And what it does and how you can apply it. That's the important thing about it.
All right. Well, I must tell you, folks, Johnny put that in my place, about 4 weeks ago?
It was about that, yeah.
Yeah, and it really does work. Honestly, I'm from Missouri, and I really did want to see if it worked, and it does. You can actually, peel it off with your finger.
You can
Yeah.
scrape the scale away
Yeah,
just within
yeah.
a few weeks now. It just
Yeah.
brushes away.
Yeah.
And what about your hair and skin? You feel it different?
It feels better. It
Really?
definitely
You look great,
does.
I have to say. It really does.
Well, thank you. But it does, So
Yeah. No, it does. It really does work. A lot of people think, it does this thing, is this smoke and mirrors, voodoo, science, etc.
I got to admit, I thought it was
yeah,
too.
a
at
lot of
first.
people
I
do,
did.
and it's understandable. I mean, it's a new technology. This is the thing. What's the new technology here in the States?
Right.
It's not a new technology in the UK. Everybody uses it in the UK. It's a standard thing. It's like having a cell phone in the UK. It does the job. That's the main thing.
So you guys went to college before we did. This is what you're trying to tell me, right?
No, we just, it's really a matter of, I think the barriers to new technology are less actually in the UK than they are over here. There are a lot of
Probably.
barriers to introducing new technology here into the States actually.
Right.
And this is it isn't a new technology, it's only new to the States. And we're having great success. I mean, here in Vegas, we've done some of the biggest properties here. They absolutely love it, and they're saving so much money, it's ridiculous.
So what are you looking to do while you're here, Johnny? You're going after the homeowner, but what about some of the businesses?
Well, we do. I mean, there are two sides to the business. There's the homeowner business. There's the homeowner side. I mean, it's only $360. Everybody can afford to
Well,
put
sure,
one in.
absolutely.
And also the landlords who are looking after properties, and the tenants who live in those properties. Because a lot of people say to me, "Oh, well, I can't put a water softener in because I don't own my home. It's only I'm only a tenant." Fine, you can put this in your home where you're living, and then when you move, you can take it with you. And it takes 10 minutes to
Right.
put in and about 5 minutes to take out. It's as simple as that.
Well, that's great. That's wonderful. So what is your game plan, though? You're planning on being around Las Vegas? Because I know from being here, everybody, people come to Las Vegas and then they want to sell you something. The next thing you know, they're gone.
I understand what you're saying, Susie. I mean, we've been here since 2010. We've been based here. My whole U.S. operations are based in Vegas. We fly everything from the UK, because it's all manufactured in the UK. It's not Chinese manufactured. It's all
That's
flown
good.
in from the UK.
I like that.
And we distribute it all over the US. I mean, we sell it everywhere from North Slope, Alaska to Key West, Florida.
Wow.
And I travel when I'm not in Vegas, I'm somewhere in between. Or I might be at home in England, actually, some of
Okay.
the time, too.
Well, you have an excellent staff here, and you have a lot of good people
Yeah.
that are are working with you on this.
Yeah.
I've met Amanda, and I've met a lot of your team, and everybody's fantastic. So they're all hands on, and it's pretty good.
Well, we're very based here. I mean,
Yeah.
we are very much a Las Vegas company. That's where our home is, and that's where we've been operating some time. And we'll be here for a long time too. It's a nice town. I love it.
Well, yeah, I love it, too.
It's not a bad place to set up a business
Well,
in the
no,
US. I can tell you.
isn't this a great idea?
Yeah, the communications are great. The hotels, some of the time, are quite reasonable actually.
Right.
These days, the prices are going up a lot.
Well, speaking of hotels, you've mentioned Panorama Towers, you've mentioned a
Yeah.
couple other properties. Why don't more hotels know about this, Johnny? I think this is an important thing that we discuss.
It's a difficult problem. It may be unique to Las Vegas, but
Right.
you get a lot of people that come into town and they start trying to sell you things, and
Right.
as you said earlier, then they go away again. You don't see them again, and it's quite difficult actually breaking into the
Exactly.
Las Vegas community and this sort of thing. But when I do get to see the right people, they really switch on to it very quickly indeed. I mean, we've done some of the arguably the most luxurious hotel in Las Vegas, who we're not allowed to name. We've done the Cosmopolitan, a lot of the smaller hotels as well, and then the condo towers, Panorama Towers, One Las Vegas, the Jewel, the Ogden, the Martin, all these huge, real luxury condos. They strip their softeners out and they put aquarates in their place.
Now, Johnny, you came up with an interesting thing when you just told me that. Why did they do that? They did that also to save money.
Mostly to save money. I
Right.
mean, they're saving
The budget. Everything
Yeah,
is
it's
the budget.
I mean, the
Yeah.
savings are huge. I mean, the Panorama Towers, they estimate they're saving $500,000 over 3 years.
Right.
And the important thing is with this product, because it's a fit and forget product, you just fit it in, you plug it in, and you walk away. You never have to do anything more to it. And it's guaranteed for 20 years, and it's life in excess of 40 years. So it just goes on and on. You don't have to do anything to it. So, take the Panorama Towers. I mean, they will never spend another cent on treating hard water again
Right.
for the rest of the life of that building. And that is huge. Because when you consider they saved $500,000 in 3 years, you imagine what they're going to save over the lifetime. And it's the same with the other properties too.
Well, you see, that's the part why I'm dedicating the show to you, to be honest with you, because a lot of people want to know what it is. That's why I have you on this program talking to me about
Well,
it.
I really appreciate you asking me to come and talk to you about this, because
Right.
I think it's a huge benefit for Vegas, because it's not just, the savings people are going to make too, it's
Right.
also the environmental benefits as well.
Right.
I mean, it's not a good thing putting any salt softener that goes on a system. You're going to put chlorides in the wastewater. And okay, it all ends up back in Lake Mead, but then
Right.
somebody else downstream in Arizona or California is going to take it out, and they
Well,
can't
sure.
use that water so effectively.
Well, as luck would have it, I brought my accountant in here, and he's a very good friend of mine, Don Stewart, and you met him at the party that we
Yeah.
did. And Don was really taken by it because he was buying the salt and carrying it
Yeah.
around, and he's one of your biggest admirers, if you will. And I think what it is more people really need to know what the product is, what it does, and yes, you're going to be
Yeah.
around here, and no, you're not going to take all their money and run away.
Yeah.
You're here to stay.
No, we're here to stay. But the other thing, Susie, actually interesting about it is that, people forget they have it,
Right.
I mean, Don, he couldn't remember. It was so funny
Yes.
meeting him, actually, because
Yeah.
he couldn't he almost sort of could, I could see his mind going. He said,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it is Aquarex. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
But, he hadn't seen it for ages.
Right, you
Because
forget
people
it.
forget it. You just have fit and forget product.
yeah, you put it in my place
and then
4
it's,
weeks ago.
And then you don't even know it's there anymore.
No, and then you started asking me a question. Well, how's it looking? How's it working? And you're right. You fit it and forget it, and
then
that's
you reach
exactly
the point,
what I did.
and then you reach a point where you forget you even had limescale.
Right.
You forget you even had hard water. That's
Right.
the interesting thing.
Until you go to somebody else's
Yeah.
house and you see what they have on theirs.
That's right.
You say, "No, wait a minute. Maybe you want to do this
Yeah.
too."
But you see, if you're hauling salt the whole time,
Yeah.
a lot of people hate hauling salt.
Oh, I do too.
That reminds you all the time, you got hard water. When you got an Aquarex, you don't hold salt, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You forget you got hard water. That's a great thing.
So, in closing, Johnny, what challenge should we have? We've started this conversation today. I'd like to have you back on my show in about 6 months, and I would like to find out what the public thinks about what you have. The prices are excellent. I really think they should call you and set up an appointment.
Well, it's very sweet of you, Susie. I really appreciate you inviting me on to do that. I mean, we've got to get the word out. That's the main thing.
We've got to take a break, but stay with us and we'll be right back.